Hey guys, today I'm filming my Throwback Thursday of my October favorites from 2014. If you guys have never seen any of these videos from me before, I'll have my playlist linked down below. And basically, I like to go back 2 years to let you know whether the products that were featured in my favorites video are still favorites now, or whether I have replaced them with something I prefer. My inspiration for this series is Kristen Game. I'll have her channel and her playlist linked down below. I will also link down below the original favorites video, and I will list and link all the items that I mentioned. So this was actually a pretty big favorites video. The first favorite was a look. The eyeshadow in this look came from the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette. I used Liar on the lid, Limit as a transition color, Nooner as a crease color, and Strange as a brow bone highlight. For blush, I used the Tarte Amazonian Clay blush in Exposed. And for lips, I use the L'Oreal Glossy Balm in the shade Lovely Mocha. I no longer have that lip product. I did decide to declutter it. It was a pretty color and it was an okay formula. It was pretty thin and slippery. It did remind me of the original formula of the Tarte Lip Surgences. I decided to give that to my mom because I felt like she might use it more than me. It was okay, but nothing amazing, so that's definitely not a favorite anymore. The Urban Decay Naked 3 palette, on the other hand, is absolutely still a favorite. I have created a lot more looks with this palette, and I have done a whole palette of the month review video. I will have that linked up here. I love this palette so much. I know a lot of people say that it's their least favorite Naked palette, but for me it is my most favorite because I do have staple, transition, crease, and brow bone colors, and I have several different lid shades that I can use with those staples, and I think they're gorgeous. I think this palette is really flattering on my fair skin and my green eyes, so this palette is definitely still a favorite, and probably even more of a favorite than it was back then. So the Tarte Amazonian Clay blush in Exposed is a beautiful shade. I wore this on my wedding day. It is a beautiful mauve nude that looks amazing on the cheeks, and it really complements any eyeshadow look or lip color. I love wearing this in the fall and winter when I'm wearing a more dramatic eye or lip color. This is awesome for the color, but I do not like the Tarte blush formula. I don't like how hard pressed it is, so I don't love the Tarte blush formula as a whole, but this color I do absolutely love. Then I did have a second favorite look of this month, and I did have a tutorial or chit chat get ready with me using it, so I'll have it linked up here. On my lid, I was wearing ColourPop Sequin, which is my #1 all-time favorite ColourPop shade. It is a metallic formula. This is a really great mix between a copper and a rose gold. Love this shade so much, so definitely still a favorite. And for my crease and transition color, I was using 2 of the Milani Bella Eyes eyeshadows. I do have an entire review video on these. I'll have that linked up here. I would recommend checking that out because I do have a lot of thoughts on these shadows. So for my transition color, I was using Bella Cappuccino, which is a neutral leaning cool light tan color. As you can see, I've used a ton of this. And then I was using Bella Mandarin in the crease. This is a really, really nice shade as well. I haven't actually worn this look in a long time. I use Sequin all the time. This is almost completely used up. I love using this as a transition color, but I haven't really used this one much. And this is a beautiful shade. It is very, very orange, especially on my fair skin. So I just have to use a light amount of product and a really fluffy brush, but I do like this color. I think it's really pretty. So basically, my thoughts on the Milani shadows. I recommend the satin matte finish, but the shimmer finishes I think are pretty underwhelming. This is a really nice eyeshadow line when it comes to the colorful shades for the everyday woman, because they are knock your socks off, blow you out of the water, bright, intense, crazy colors. They are more wearable shades. So I think that these are nice eyeshadows. I love these 2 shades, especially Bella Cappuccino. I recommend the satin mattes. The shimmers I don't think are very exciting, and these shadows were like all the rage when they first came out because a lot of people had these sent to them, and I never hear anybody talk about them anymore. They are good, but not amazing. I'm not going to go out and buy any other shades. When I finish Bella Cappuccino, I might repurchase this one though. The blush I was wearing in that look is the MAC Mineralize blush in the shade Warm Soul, which is a beautiful shimmery peachy nude on my skin tone. This blush actually works on quite a few different skin tones, but I love it on me. This is my #1 favorite fall blush. This It has that beautiful warm tone that I feel helps like sculpt out my cheeks. They just look so beautiful, and this pairs well with any deep dramatic eye look. Number one go-to fall blush. I really do like this formula. This is the only mineralized blush that I have, and this color is everything. So definitely recommend this formula and this color, especially if you do have fair skin. And the lip color I was wearing in that look is the Maybelline Creamy Matte Lipstick in the shade Daringly Nude. I do have a review on these as well. I'll have that linked up here. I love this. This is a great peachy nude for my skin tone. This is a very creamy matte, comfortable formula to wear. Very opaque. It has a beautiful matte finish, but it isn't drying. I have 4 different lipsticks in this line. They have 20 shades. Highly recommend this line, and this color is fantastic, especially again on fair skin. My next favorite was a foundation and primer combination. I was using the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer with the Revlon Colorstay Oily Combo Foundation in the shade 150 Buff. And I have not repurchased the Rimmel primer since I used it up, but I remember liking this combo because the primer made the foundation last longer and look a little bit more matte. So the new formulation of Revlon Colorstay, in my opinion, gives light medium or medium coverage, and it has a natural finish. Now, I do not like Revlon Colorstay. I used to love it back in the day, but they have since changed the formula, and I don't like it anymore at all. I just tried buying it a couple months ago to try it out again. No, not for me. So I have not tried that primer, but I would be willing to. I remember it being a lotiony consistency, which I like. I feel like that's just really easy to work into the skin. Isn't too slippery, isn't too sticky, isn't too thick. So the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer is nice, but I don't remember it being anything amazing at controlling oil. So that combination or those products individually are not favorites any longer. My next favorite was the Clinique Cheek Pop Blush in the shade Ginger Pop. This is another one of my fall blush staples. I think this is such a gorgeous color. This is a holy grail blush of mine. I really do like the Clinique Cheek Pop formula. I think that these have a nice subtle sheen to them, not too shimmery, not too matte, and I feel like because of their texture, these would be flattering on people with wrinkles, acne, oily skin, dry skin. I feel like this formula just works on all skin types, and they do have several different shades that should work for every skin tone. So I absolutely love this color. I think it is so stunning. Also, this is a very buildable blush, so if you want a light wash of color, you can do that, but you can also build it up to get really intense cheek, which I love. So this is absolutely a favorite of mine, definitely a holy grail blush for the formula and this color especially. My next favorite was an eyeshadow look using the Lorac Pro 2 palette. I do have a chit chat get ready with me on this look. I'll have that linked up here. If I've run out of cards, I'll have the videos linked down below. So my favorite look was using Rosé on the lid, Nectar as a transition color, light brown in the crease, and buff as my brow bone highlight. I've actually created 3 different looks with this palette. I've done tutorials or chit chat get ready with me's, but I do not like Lorac Pro shadows. A lot of people love them, but I do not like this formula. Lorac Pro shadows are incredibly powdery. They have so much kickback, which I can deal with. The Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette has a lot of kickback, but those shadows blend nicely. These do not. For me, these blend out to be muddy or to disappear. Like they start looking patchy and terrible. And I know how to set my primer. I have no problem using other shadows the same way, but these, no, they do not work on my eyes. So since trying this palette, I have not purchased any other Lorac Pro shadows, and I don't plan to. I do not like this formula at all. Too powdery, blends out to be a patchy, muddy mess on me, but I do love those particular shades. I feel like Buff doesn't have as much pigmentation, but light brown and Nectar especially are amazing colors. I just wish they were made from another brand in a different formula, but I do want to pull back out this palette to use those 2 shades specifically because the colors are stunning. If you like Lorac Pro shadows, then I would recommend this palette. I think you do have a nice variety of colors, some really pretty mattes and shimmers, but if you are like me and you don't really like Lorac palettes, I definitely would not recommend this one. My next favorite was another of the Maybelline Cream Matte lipsticks. This is in the shade Lust for Blush. This is a staple for me in the winter time. Like I said, I do really love this formula. Really opaque, creamy, comfortable, long wearing matte lipstick. Love this color. The formula is fantastic, so highly recommend this. My last two favorites were some polish combinations. The first one is using Butter London Slapper and OPI Spark Day Triumph. I know this is a permanent color. I only have a couple Butter London polishes, except I did just get a bunch from Lauren May Beauty. I do really like this polish. It is a stunning color. It is opaque in 2 coats, but I don't think it is worth the $16 because this isn't a very unique shade. So I would still consider this one a favorite, but I don't think you have to go out and buy it. And then OPI Spark Day Triumph is a white gold glitter. This was limited edition from a Serena Williams duo like a million years ago. And I definitely need to add some polish thinner in here because it has definitely started to dry out. OPI glitters are fantastic. They are definitely opaque in 2 coats. I do need to put a top coat over them because they are very textured, but I really do love the OPI glitter formula. So this is definitely a great polish combo. I haven't used this combo in a long time. I definitely need to. I do really recommend both of these polishes if you can get your hands on them, and I do love the OPI glitter formula. And my last favorite would be another polish combo. You guys have heard me talk about this combo so much. #1 fall polish combo. That would be a Zoya's Bevin and CoverGirl Outlast Stay Brilliant in the shade Always Naked. This is a dupe for Essie San Tropez. These are just the most gorgeous muted colors for fall. Zoya's Bevin is opaque in 2 coats, as is the CoverGirl, which is very impressive for a nude polish. I haven't tried any other of the CoverGirls, but highly recommend both of these shades. I love wearing these together. I like to wear the CoverGirl on my middle and ring finger as accent nails, so this combo is definitely still a favorite. So guys, that is my Throwback Thursday of my October favorites from 2014. I would love to know your thoughts if you've tried out any of these products. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.